Yep, it's me again. Okay, what's up, y'all? I'm RenaMarq, modern Renaissance creator of all types, and today, as y'all know, I got my script. I ain't get to that point yet. I got my script, but I did want to talk about something that I need to get better at. Something that I noticed a lot of other people can get better at, and it's creating more than we consume, right? So let's talk about it. So it's been on my mind lately, definitely very recent. The idea that we need to create more than we consume. I don't know about you. You could be 100% different than me. Understand it. But I spend a lot of time consuming, whether it's scrolling through TikTok, I'm binge watching YouTube, or even analyzing someone else's creative work, right? There's always something grabbing my attention. And yeah, some of it's inspiring. I can't lie. Some of it's inspiring. But here's the thing, when I look back, I realize that for all the time I spent consuming, very little of it translates into me creating something myself. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to kind of unpack that, or unpack why this shift from consuming to creating is so important. Why it is transformative, and how, not only for myself, but hopefully for y'all, can start prioritizing creation in our lives. Um, we do live in we live in a time, don't we? We live in an era where consumption is fucking effortless. Think about it. Everything's on demand. Like, everything's on demand. We can stream any show, scroll through endless content, fucking listen to music on demand. We could literally do all of that at the push of a button and not even get out of our seats to do the different thing. If you want to stream a show, then play a game, then watch a movie, then scroll through TikTok, then listen to an album, then read a book, then go on YouTube and dive into someone else's world, we can literally do that without literally leaving the seat. We don't have to get up to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can just order food and boom, everything's at the push of a button. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with consuming. A great movie is a great movie, let me tell you, okay? A powerful book is a powerful book, or a beautifully crafted game that you could just sit down and chill. Shit, even some of what y'all cozy games, my Stardew Valley players out there. These things do inspire us. They teach us and even help us feel less alone. But I do think there's a catch to it, and here's the catch, right? When all we do is consume, we become spectators, right? We sit back and watch the world go by instead of like stepping up and participating in it. It's like standing on the sidelines of a game you actually really want to play. Worse, sometimes I think we mistake consumption for productivity, and I do this a lot. So this is definitely me talking to myself, but you know what I mean. Like, you watch 5 tutorials on how to paint, but you never pick up a brush. You read articles about how to write a book, but you never start typing. You know, cliche shit, right? You scroll past, like, you on TikTok, and you know how to recipes for this and recipes for that and recipes for this and recipes for that. But you just scroll post after post, right? Thinking, damn, like, I I can create this or I can make something like this someday, but that someday never seems to come because there's always more to watch, more to read, more to scroll through. I think it becomes a cycle, it becomes a trap, and I think really the only way to break it, like get out of that trap is by creating. I'm not even gonna bullshit. And like, let's talk about creation though. Like, let's talk about why creating matters. When you create, to me, I think is you stop being a passive observer and you start engaging with the world in a way that's active, intentional, and personal. Whether it's writing a story, designing something, making a video, or to be honest, even cooking a new recipe. Creating, it puts you in control. You could take raw ideas, emotions, materials, and just turn them into something unique, which I think is, to be honest, the one of the best purposes in life. Might even be the main purpose is to like create, you know. And you make it something unique. It's something that didn't exist before you decided to make it, and that's fire. That's fire. Creating also gives you a deeper appreciation, I think, for the things you do consume. Suddenly, you're not just watching a film, and I do this all the time now. You thinking about how it was lit, right? How the dialogue flows, how the story was structured. You're not just listening to the song. Like, if you make music, you're not just listening to a song now. You're noticing the layers, the rhythm. You're paying attention to the lyrics more. And when you create, you start to engage with the world around you in a way that's more curious, thoughtful, magical shit. And then here's the best part, right? Creating, and that's the beauty of it, right? Because neither one of these things have to be perfect, right? Your consumption doesn't have to be perfect, but your creations doesn't have to be perfect either. In fact, it shouldn't be. Your first attempts at anything are going to be messy, awkward, bad, and that's cool. That's okay. And it's another cliche. Every great artist, writer, or creator you look up to started in that exact same place. You know, we all started in the beginning here. You know, not everybody's a prodigy, right? Not everybody was born talented. Some people just started, got to work, and just didn't stop. But it's and it's not easy to get out of the consumption loop, so I get that. I think, and here's what the things I'm working on. First, I'm setting boundaries for consumption. And I'm not, cuz like, we're not giving up Netflix, we're not giving up TikTok. Even if they do ban it, another app's going to come around and we're going to be on that shit. So we're not giving up these things cold turkey, but think about how much you're spending time on these things. That's what I'm starting to do. Could you cut it down by 30 minutes, an hour, and use that time to create instead? I've been doing this thing where if I've been starting to set timers, and it's pissing me off because I'm like, nah, I want to watch this, and I'm not done with it, and like the timer's just blaring away. But it's been good. Like I set like 30-minute timer. Okay, TikTok, I'm on for 30 minutes. Boom. But I set another timer for 30 minutes and try to create something. So just as much as I consume, I try to at least create the bare minimum same amount. If I'm consuming for 30 minutes on TikTok, then I want to create for 30 minutes. And I think what I'm starting to do is, and that's been working, but I'm getting into that habit because what I'm starting to do is, my mustache is in my nose like a motherfucker. Sorry. What I'm starting to do is create before I consume. And I think that's the game changer, right? So hear me out with this. If I'm trying to start my day by doing something creative, no matter how small, like I get up in the morning, I write a few sentences. So for you, if you're a drawer, if you're an artist or whatever, you can get up, write doodle in a notebook, you know, brainstorm ideas, write a couple of lyrics out if you're a songwriter, hum some shit, damn it. Play a couple of keys on the piano, because I think when you create first, you're telling your brain this is the priority over consuming, over consumption. Like creation is the priority. And I think this is the biggest thing to me is share your fucking work, right? I know it's scary to put stuff out there. Like, I kid you not, I was never even going to put these just yappings out. This was like a journal just for me, kind of. But I was like, it could help people. And I put it on YouTube, and people, y'all be in the comments. Y'all see the videos. People message and be like, yeah, I needed to hear this. And so now I'm talking to myself, and I'm kind of talking with y'all. Not to y'all, but with y'all. You know? Because I never want to sound preachy. That's corny shit. But share your work, and I know it's scary to put stuff out there, especially when it doesn't feel good enough. But I think sharing builds momentum, and I think that's important, right? It helps you improve, connect, just, and most importantly, I think it makes you accountable for yourself because you start sharing your shit, somebody gonna check you on it. Hey, yo, what's going on with that song you were writing that you told me about or that you shared earlier? What's going on with that movie that you're trying to write? What's going on with that TV show? Yo, aren't you trying to stream? When you doing that? You see what I'm saying? And we all got egos, so we kind of gonna be like, yeah, let me get to it because you don't want the people you shared it to share the initial idea or the initial thought or the initial creation with to be like, oh, so you just gave up? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important. And I think finally, consume with intention. So like once you start putting creation first and making that the priority, I think the next thing you're going to start doing is consuming with intention. So when you are consuming, you're going to be like, okay, the next time you watch something or read something or whatever the fuck, you're going to be like, okay, what am I learning from this? How can I use this as inspiration? Is it going to stop like the brain rot of it all? And I know that word's being heavily used lately, but bear with me here. But I think it can literally shift your mindset from passive entertainment to like active engagement. You know what I'm saying? Even if you are watching, your favorite streamer on Twitch or favorite content creator on YouTube, you can still pick certain things up by watching them, I think at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about balance because, I'm not saying we should stop consuming entirely. One, that's impossible. Two, that's fucking ridiculous. But consumption, because I do think consumption fuels creation. But I think if all we do is consume, we're missing out on the most important part, which is creating something that reflects who we are. You know what I mean? think about like the people you admire, the creators who work inspire you, whether it's Christopher Nolan, Berlizzi, Corey Kenshin. Shout out my boy Corey, you just came back. RDC, Beyonce, Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, like whoever. You know what I'm saying? An actor, Damson Idris, Issa Rae, whoever it is, they didn't get there by just sitting back and watching, right? They got there by doing, by trying, by failing, by making things even when they weren't sure anyone would care. And I think the same could be true for me. The same could be true for you. Like I said, I wasn't even gonna put these out because I was like, nobody gonna care. These are my little journal entries, whatever the case may be, just to kind of keep my mind a little sharp. That's why I kind of write these scripts out, just to keep my mind sharp, because I don't really get to write scripts as much as I would like to, even though I'm working on that now because of stuff like this. But me putting it out, I was like, oh shit, like I don't need to have it all figured out. I'm literally just sitting in front of one camera. Right? I could have multiple angles and all this shit, but it's just us, you know what I mean? I'm just chilling. Like when we have a conversation, like when you have a conversation with somebody, you're not getting them from multiple angles. It's just face to face, and I like that. And I say all this to say, like, I don't need to have it all figured out. I just needed to start, and I did, you know. And I'm it's a grueling process, but I'm going every day. But here's my challenge, right? To myself and to you. Create something every day, even if it's small. Doesn't have to be big. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just make something. Hum a little tune and record it on your phone. If you're a songwriter, if you like melody. You know what I'm saying? You know, just make something. A sketch, a paragraph, you know, a small little conversation, a melody, a meal. You like to eat, don't you? Take all that inspiration you've been absorbing with consumption and turn it into something uniquely yours, uniquely you. Because, you know, the truth is we all have something worth creating. I think the question is, are you ready to start, you know? And it took me a long time to say, I think I am. And I've gotten to this point. You know, I ain't the biggest, the greatest. I ain't hit the pinnacle. I ain't hit the peak. But I'm working. And I think you are too. I think you are ready as well. To some, I know y'all feel me. To others, hey, I might just be yapping. Either way, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.